Yo, what's up, everybody? Hope you guys having a great day today. You watch your own air with Nick Java, the Nick Java podcast. Today, we are going to be looking at Stephen A. Smith's response to Joe Biden's State of the Union address. So we're going to check it out. You know, we know Stephen A. Smith's pretty much a Democrat. That's not really surprising. He does sometimes have moments of clarity, and then other moments he has Trump deranged syndrome. So I don't know which one we're going to get today. Let's check it out. Let's roll the video. See what Stephen A. Smith's got to say. See if he's being logical or not. Who knows, man? We can get anything with this guy. But he is entertaining, so we'll give him that.
Last night, President Joe Biden gave his annual State of the Union address. The president highlighted his stances on taxes, foreign policy, and even reproductive rights. He called out Republicans for not supporting a bipartisan border security bill. And he blasted former President Donald Trump, without naming him, of course, for quote unquote bowing down to Russian President Vladimir Putin. There's a couple of opinions, a few actually.
That's weird.
That I have on the State of the Union address. First things first, let's talk about President Biden for a second. Because while you had an abundance of people.
Yo, if there's anybody bowing down to President Putin, it's not Trump. You can say what you want to say. Out of Biden and Trump, I'll just say it's not Trump. That's all I'm going to say.
On the left, who want to bring up how they saw this man and they said, hey, you know what? He looks fiery, so much fervor, so much energy. And you had the left wanting to make a big deal about that, right? Let me show y'all what that's the equivalent of. Are you watching?
Yeah.
Cameramen, stay with me. Stay with me. Are you ready? Are you ready? So guess what? That means I can run 5 miles now? That means I'm in shape?
Yeah, I get what he's saying.
What the hell does that mean that Joe Biden looked like he had energy last night? The question is, can you rely on him to do that for 4 years, starting next year?
Probably not.
That's the question. He gives a speech for an hour and 10 minutes or so on a weeknight in March of 2024, and suddenly that warrants 4 more years for a dude that's going to turn 82 years of age in November?
I mean, you know what? He's actually making sense here. I don't know how he's going to end up spinning this, because it feels like every time he's right close to understanding, the moment he's really close to absolute mind clarity, he shoots himself in the foot. He pees his metaphorical pants when it comes to his opinions. We'll see, though. It looks like he's getting close, guys. He's getting close.
And is expected to give 4 more years after that. I said before, and I'll say it again. It is an utter disgrace that in the year 2024, the Democratic Party, who calls itself progressives, is begging and relying upon an 82-year-old to come save the day for 2025.
I'm surprised he didn't talk about his skin color. He loves talking about people's skin color.
In the 2028. And if you think that an hour speech offsets all of that, you smoking crack.
You're right, Stephen.
I'm worried.
Should be. We all should be worried.
At this point in time with a Joe Biden, because we've seen some slippage.
Some.
He didn't look that way last night. Give him credit for that. But it doesn't amount to a hill of beans in the grand scheme of things when you talk.
There was a article that came out. You guys, if you find it, let me know if it's legit or not. But there was an article that came out talking about they have given him adrenaline shots, and also there was some kind of leak showing that he was using uppers or whatnot. I mean, I understand it though, because he's old, man. He's old. I get it, man.
About 4 more years. That's the only point that I wanted to make about him and how energetic he looked during his speech last night. Now let's get on to another topic, because it involves somebody else that, quite frankly, I'm not that fond of. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene, representative who's made a scene at every one of Biden's State of the Union addresses. It continued Thursday night as she showed up in a bright red MAGA outfit. She tried to engage the president as he walked into the House chamber. Greene could be seen telling Biden to, quote, say her name, end quote, an apparent reference to Laken Riley, a 22-year-old nursing student who was allegedly murdered by an undocumented immigrant. The president did not address Greene, not at that moment, but later in the speech, he mentioned Riley and held up a button acknowledging she was killed by, quote, an illegal, a name Democrats usually avoid saying.
Oh, yeah, they got pissed at him over this, man.
I think it's important to recognize that it's kind of heinous to accuse any individual of being responsible for someone's murder. There are an abundance of things that we see taking place on Capitol Hill that we're not happy about. We see politicians on both sides of the aisle seemingly incapable or at the very least unwilling to make things happen, to reach accords that would best benefit our society as a whole. And so if you're looking at it from that generic perspective, I can get how you can talk about laws or lack thereof impeding our ability to govern our society.
So here's the rundown with Stephen A. Smith. Just from my point of view, he's on it. He's on it, man. And just like I said earlier, he's his metaphorical political pants. He never lets us down. It's kind of like someone that you see them, you're like, oh man, you're almost there. You almost there. And they just turn and go in the opposite direction. It's like you're telling somebody like, what, you're playing like you're hiding Easter eggs with them like a kid, right? And it's like you tell them, you're like, okay, you're getting hotter. You're getting hotter. Hey, you're getting hotter, Stephen. And he walks in the opposite direction. Cold, 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 cold. You're not even close now. When it comes down to Marjorie Taylor Greene, what she did, they did that to Trump for years. Democratic Party did that to him for 4 years. Nancy Pelosi was so disrespectful to him. She wouldn't even stand up and clap when he would say stuff that was beneficial to minorities. Come on, man. That's part of the political game. And when it comes down to Lincoln Riley's situation, Joe Biden decided that they were going to do a press run apologizing for saying illegals. Democrats don't like that word. They like to call it migrants. It's illegals. They're illegal. Biden's even said it multiple times. And then they go on a press run apologizing for saying the word illegal when, let's use the Democrats' term, migrant, murdered an innocent girl. They won't say Lincoln's name, but they will apologize for saying illegal. That ought to tell you right there where the Democratic Party's at. They're apologizing because they hurt your fan base. Oh no! He said illegal. There's a dead girl at the hands of that migrant or illegal, whatever you want to call it. And you know what they're doing? They don't even want to jail these people, man. But when they do jail them, we as taxpayers have to pay for it. And you know what? If Joe Biden did not have the policies we have, that girl will still be alive. I'm in the studio today. Got some sessions coming up today. I got to make it happen. Got to pay some bills. You guys click like, subscribe, comment. It's a pleasure to see you guys. Take care. Skeet, skeet. Y'all looking damn good.